Hello. This is my black bomber 1987 Chevy Suburban. I put a motor in it from a junkyard. And I decided to try the magnets on the fuel lines. I'm about to make a video about that. Magnets on the fuel lines. Alright, a short video on fuel line magnets. Even with my 1987 Chevy, that year they went to throttle body. They put all that computerized stuff. There's 7 sensors on the top of the engine trying to decide how should we do this fuel thing. Well, so when I put the magnets on, I took a short drive and the first thing that happened was the check engine lights came on. So I knew that the sensors were going, what has changed with this fuel? The emissions would be different, the burning would be different, and I found that it ran cooler, with more power, particularly in the low end, on less fuel. So I'm doing a video saying this works. Now, behind the throttle body, there's the distributor, the coil on the top of the V8, and a whole bunch of stuff, so it's hard to work in there. But you can look in. The larger of the 2 lines going in will be the feed. This one is the return. So I prepared to do the feed line like this. Magnets. I got very powerful neodymium magnets, about the size of 3 dimes stacked, but they're very powerful. Now, in order to find, because my study says put the north side compressing, north to north, they don't want to go together. That's what the field of magnetism you want going through the line. But you don't want to stick them to the line either because it's too dispersed. In order to find the pole, I put a magnet near a compass. It draws right to it. That means it's the South Pole because they're both magnets. I turn it the other way, bang, and that arrow runs away. That means this is the north side of my magnet. I did that for both of them. This is the north. I have done it for this, and I happen to know this is the north. I labeled it. So, to prepare to work in the tight space, I took black tape, put it like this, and then I take the magnets, north side facing up, about halfway down the magnet like that, bang, right about there. And then I took the other one, and I had to hold it still because they want to join each other. These are very powerful. And I stuck it to the tape right there, and I rolled this over to hold them in place, particularly the space between. They're stuck. They can't join each other now. They're both stuck with north facing up. I did that again. I only have the 2 right now because they came 3 to a pack. I used 4. And I put those magnets in there and fold it over like that. So now I have north facing up, north facing up. Now what I do when I get under there, and it's all tight quarters, I get in there and I stick that first part to the line. Stick it to the line. And I roll it around until those magnets come down. And now I know they're right underneath there. They're right underneath and they're stuck. Okay, and they stick to the fuel line because it's a metal line. Now I take the other and I bring it down in there, and I can feel them repelling. I can feel them repelling down in that space, but I force them to go on top there, and I force this around the fuel line in the tight spot and bring it up and grab it with the tape. So now I know I've got this compressed field very close, but not against the metal, north to north, making compression in there. I take another piece of tape, a few inches long, and I wrap it around again. And then I took a zip tie, fish it down in there, get it around, and zip it between the magnets in that space that I know is right there. Make it as tight as I can, and they are stuck on that line, opposing each other. like that, in behind all this stuff there, right down in there tight like that. As I say, I started driving, the check engine light came on. Now I know, because that's the sensors going, what happened to the fuel? This fuel is burning differently. And I noticed that it was running cooler and had more power. When that check engine light was on, what I did was just get a little bit aggressive with it, so the sensors had to make up their minds. And the lights went out and they have not come back on. And I still am running cooler with more power. North to north, north to north, stuck in place, insulated from the line just before the throttle body.